So it's too late to talk about what we presented on our Super Bowl spread. But since March Madness is around the corner and runs for like 2 weeks, there's still time to discuss one of our favorite food groups, chicken wings. Hello, I'm George Mahey.
And I'm Cheryl Bear with a crazy wing hangover today.
Today, we will talk about our favorite wings in a handful of different categories, and we'll both declare our favorite wing in town. And alas, we'll also discuss somewhat disparagingly the boneless chicken wing.
This episode of Arch Eats is sponsored by BelGioioso Cheese.
But first, it's what we can't stop thinking about. And we're both still thinking about a new menu item that we were introduced to a couple weeks ago.
George, we are in sync on this one. I think you and I both tasted this and thought to ourselves, my God, are we really tasting a sandwich this delicious? I'm burying the lead here a little bit. We had the pleasure of trying a couple new menu items at Katie's out at Ballpark Village, although this will be on the menu at the other locations as well. It is a porchetta sandwich that, I mean, if it's not the best sandwich in St. Louis, it's up there. This thing was so outstanding. I'm still thinking about it a couple weeks later. I don't know your thoughts on it.
Yeah, you know, they have porchetta on the menu as well. And porchetta stuffed pork loin, right? And you have to cut it about a quarter to a half an inch thick in order to show its beauty. But if you slice it really thinly, you can put it on a sandwich, and that's exactly what the new chef at Katie's.
It's like shaved porchetta or something. Oh my gosh. You're talking about this, and I'm drifting off how, like in the old cartoons, when they were really hungry, they would see a ham everywhere they looked. That's what I've been doing with this porchetta sandwich. It was on this fresh made focaccia that was just beautiful herbed alone. That was delicious. They had these piles of this juicy, juicy porchetta that just soaked into this focaccia. But I think what made it so special for me was how they had it dressed.
Yes.
It really brightened it.
With arugula.
Yes.
And they just perfected this. The new chef there, a guy named Derek Woodley, who we will talk about in future episodes. He's just arrived from Flour and Water in San Francisco. You're going to hear about this guy. This is his porchetta recipe that he's very proud of. It's also his focaccia recipe that he's very proud of. And boy, those two together are killer. He also put some meatballs on that same focaccia. We can talk about that at a different time, but I'm with you. That was a really, really good sandwich.
I'm still thinking about it. I mean, here it is lunchtime while we're recording. I may head down after this. It's race out to get it. This is one of the best sandwiches you'll eat in your life.
We'll be right back. BelGioioso brings the taste of Italy right to your table with a wide range of artisan cheeses, crafted with care and the finest ingredients. Their fresh mozzarella is a fan favorite, known for its creamy, delicate flavor. BelGioioso offers an extensive line of premium cheeses, including rich, creamy gorgonzola, decadent burrata, smooth ricotta, the bold American grana, and more. Discover the tradition, quality, and craftsmanship of BelGioioso cheese and find out where to buy it in St. Louis by visiting belgioioso.com.
And now, back to the show.
We're going to get Cheryl's mind off of porchetta and off of focaccia and talk about chicken wings. And we put together at St. Louis Magazine a list of places to find great chicken wings in St. Louis, and that got to be a monster. We didn't count them. I didn't count them, but there's got to be 50 or 60.
I mean, they're on every menu in town. That's
Right.
why you almost need a guide to make your way through it.
And it was hard to cut it to 50 or 60,
Sure.
but we did that. And for purposes today, we basically broke that down into 5 categories. Traditional, smoked, specialty. That's how we broke them up. I think that's the only way we can negotiate it. So let's just get started. The first category that we decided upon was the smoked wing. And this might be my favorite way to eat them. Out at Edgewild Restaurant and Winery, the chef out there does a triple dry rub, and then he smokes the chicken wing over cherry wood, and then he fries it. A really good combination. It's a very complicated process. I'm just going to leave it at that. And it really needs no further accoutrement. You don't need any ranch. You don't need any blue cheese. And this particular chicken wing has won more wing ding competitions than I can count. It's a really good wing.
Now, I haven't been out there yet. Are they flats and drummies? Are they mostly drummies? Are they pretty big in size? How would you categorize that?
Flats and drummies,
Okay.
again, triple dry rubbed, which I don't know anybody that does that, but there's a reason that they do it, and it just imbues a lot more flavor
Yeah.
into the wing. My second favorite smoked wing is the one at Beastcraft.
Oh, I
And,
love
again,
theirs.
he's got this monster wing that he smokes and he fries, and the secret there is this sweet and spicy dill rub.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I've
That
heard people of like pickle brining chicken.
The only place I know that applies dill to chicken wings, but it really works. And then he serves them with a house-made ranch. And some people put barbecue sauce on it, but they shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, the nuance of that smoke and that dill, that's all you need.
It goes with the ranch, let's face it. So what's on your smoked wing
Yeah,
list?
well, smoked wing is probably, oh gosh. It's hard for me to say what my favorite kind of chicken wing is because I was going to say, well, smoked wings are my favorite, but then I'm like, oh, I love buffalo sauce. I could drink it. So it's hard to say. I guess we don't have to choose that right now. So one of my favorites is Stellar Hog. Now, Stellar Hog is the quaint little barbecue house. It's actually built in a converted house down in Holly Hills. And they're known for their brisket. So most of the time you're going in there, you're having your brisket. You might sleep on their chicken wings, but I'm telling you, these chicken wings are outstanding. They have this delicate sweetness. You almost feel like they were glazed or dipped in a little bit of honey. It must be something in the rub, though, that he's doing. But the meat is juicy. The skin is so crispy. It almost has that crackling you get when you have perfectly cooked Peking duck. It's almost like
Now-
glassy
Yep,
looking.
I know exactly what you're
Yes,
talking about.
that is what the texture of these wings when they're cooked perfectly are. So I love them. Alex Cup, pitmaster out there. You cannot go wrong with these wings.
Before you move on,
Yes.
I want to mention that if you look under Stellar Hog, you'll see a Chesterfield location.
Yes.
It's not open
It's not open anymore,
even though it says
no.
it on the website. Out there, they're open for catering orders, but
Yes.
don't be misled. The only location is on Leona Street in Holly Hills.
Yeah, and FYI, I have catered many a party with Stellar Hog, and it is a crowd pleaser. So make sure you put chicken wings on that buffet if you get it. My second one is out west. This is one that I kind of stumbled into, and I was surprised at how much I loved them. Big Chief Roadhouse. Now, I've talked about Big Chief a little bit here and there.
We've talked about their speakeasy.
Yeah, their speakeasy's so fun. Too bad you can't get the chicken wings up in the speakeasy. I guess you could like sneak them in your purse or something and eat them out there on the
wanna see you
rooftop. I
do
guess
that.
they're not
I
policing
want to see you
it.
get thrown out of the
Exactly
speakeasy.
right. I mean, they probably go good with all the bourbon they have up there. But anyway, their wings, again, they're smoked, delicious, juicy, plump. There's something about that rub. I think when it comes to a smoked wing, there has to be a little bit of sweetness in that rub, a little
Right,
bit of heat,
definitely.
not significant, but noticeable sweetness that really just plays with that smoke and that spice. It
I've
rounds it
noticed
out.
some of the
Oh, man.
rubs, a lot of the rubs, the number one ingredient, brown sugar.
Right?
There you
It's
go.
just perfect. And Big Chiefs hit that note really well. I love them. That's maybe my favorite thing on their menu out there. They're amazing. Now, I know we categorize these as traditional, buffalo style, whatever you want to call them. Our next category are traditional wings. When I think of these, I think of buffalo wings. Is that where you
Yes,
lean on this?
fried wing with buffalo sauce. And how many places in town serve them that way? Hundreds.
So many. I
So-
mean, you can't even keep track of it. Basically, anywhere you go is going to have these on their menu.
Right. We each picked two.
Yes, we did.
Go right ahead.
So I'm probably going with the one that everyone's going to think you should go to. And there's a reason for that. Cyberg's. I love Cyberg's buffalo wings. Now, Cyberg's house sauce is not buffalo sauce. So when you go there and you're like, oh, yeah, I'll have them tossed in your house sauce, that's more of a mustardy style,
Most definitely.
which is tasty, but I love their buffalo sauce.
And they've got 9 sauces
Yes,
there.
they
You
do.
can get lost in the sauce at Cyber's.
You absolutely can. It's really good there. But their buffalo sauce, to me, it just hits everything you want from buffalo sauce. It's tangy, so tangy. Your mouth just waters from smelling it.
That's how you want it. You want that vinegar to
Yes,
get in there.
vinegar. It's the vinegar that gets me a little buttery, cuts through it, a little bit of richness. You can't taste that they're buttery, but there's a softness under that tang, and it perfectly coats them. And the reason why I also love them, their ranch and blue cheese is delicious out there. I mean, you gotta soak it, equal parts buffalo sauce and ranch. And I'm usually a blue cheese person, and I love their blue cheese, but their ranch is also quite delicious. So Cyberg's is number one on my list.
Before we move on from
Yes.
Cyberg's, it's known that Helen Fitzgerald's is owned by that company as well. And over the summer, I don't know if you remember this, they did a little event with Lars Nootbaar.
Yes, I do remember
And
this.
he was there and
Oh, goodness.
he invented a sauce. It's so good and so popular that they put it on the menu.
No.
Lars Nootbaar sauce is buffalo sauce with Parmesan and garlic.
Wait, excuse me?
And it's really, really good. So there's your buffalo, but they've got another component now. So they had 8 sauces. Now they've got 9.
Oh, my goodness. That sounds fantastic. Because I love garlic Parmesan wings. I mean, why not put them together?
That's exactly what they did.
And I think I should probably note the reason why I did not put Helen Fitzgerald's on here is because it is in the Cyberg's family.
Right. It's the same wing.
They
same
have
sauce.
outstanding wings there. The other one on my list is Three Kings. Three Kings has wonderful buffalo wings. I like them because when we say fried wings, a lot of times they're not super
I'm
breaded.
surprised you picked that one because it's a
Oh,
fried
I
wing.
love
but it's a
'em.
darn good fried
Oh,
wing.
it's so good.
Yeah.
I actually think that the breading allows the buffalo sauce to adhere really, really well. It almost soaks in and encases, and it's kind of like the fryer grease from breading. I know this sounds super healthy, but the fryer grease from the breading enmeshes with the buffalo, and oh my gosh,
That's a good
it's
point.
so
the
good.
wing sauce is on the wing, not in
Yes.
the bottom of the bowl.
Yes, it's wonderful. That's why I love them. They always come out searing hot. They're amazing.
Out in that same neighborhood, if you're out in De Pere at their Three Kings, the Village Bar.
Oh, yeah. Classic. Classic.
Really good. Just a jumbo wing, buffalo sauce, pretty straightforward. What I like there, you can get all drummies or all flats too
Oh, can
for an extra
you?
couple bucks,
Oh,
which is
that's great.
for some people that's a big deal.
Yes,
I
it
would
is.
get all flats.
I would get all flats too.
So,
You and I
okay,
are flat
we go.
people. I love
So
flats.
that's kind of fun. A lot of places won't do that. But
Yeah.
again, Village Bar, I mean, those things are great, but it's the only place that I'll eat a fried mushroom because they're so good. The onion
Yes.
rings are so tasty.
Yeah, I was going
Their
to say, get the
burgers,
wings with a side of onion
It's
rings.
just a classic place. Did you know it's been there, that building, since 1872? It was originally a post office, and it's been
Yeah.
eating facility, a restaurant since Prohibition. But
I-
what a great place for wings, burgers, and all those other things I just
You
talked
know
about.
you are at a historic St. Louis bar when they have one of those old Clydesdale chandeliers.
Yes.
So, and if
The
you
one that
know, you know.
rotates?
Yes.
Oh, classic.
Classic.
Out in that neighborhood or near that neighborhood, Westport Social, the thing I like about their wing is that the buffalo sauce they use is flavored with Calabrian peppers, I should say, which is a sweeter,
Ooh,
flavorful, fruity almost
Yeah.
pepper. So you get those
really
notes.
bright.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what makes it. And they smoke them to that kind of mahogany look, and then they apply that sauce. It's just really tasty.
George, I shouldn't have skipped breakfast. I'm getting hungry. We're going out for wings after this.
Yes,
I
we are.
think. Well, if we are going out for wings, we came up with an international category
Yes.
as well, because we're finding that obviously there's buffalo style wings, there's smoked wings, but a lot of great international restaurants around town incorporate some of these global flavors into the chicken wing to make it just such a wonderful experience. So I
And
don't
you've
know what you have on
discovered
there.
a couple of
I
these
have.
that I didn't even know had wings. So again,
Yes.
this is good stuff. Mine are a little more obvious. Yours are less so. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, I think we've talked about my love of Cafe Ganadara, the Korean restaurant down on Southampton, deep South City. They have Korean fried chicken there, and their Korean fried chicken is in the form of a chicken wing. And to me, it's one of the best things to eat in town. I love that the breading is so crunchy. You bite into it. It's not quite a batter, and it's not quite like when we think of fried chicken, like a crumbly feel to it. It's almost this hybrid between them. But you bite into it, and it's just this crunch. And Again, searing hot, and you can get them coated in a variety of different things. You can get yum yum sauce, which is a creamy sweet sauce. You can get a spicy garlic soy, but I just love the garlic soy. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. Garlic, soy. I think they put a little honey in there so it's nice and sticky. It's heaven on earth.
Yeah, with a Korean wing, I love the
Oh.
sticky component for sure.
What gets better than that?
Maybe the ones at Chiang Mai. I don't know.
Great. Chiang Mai is great too. I have that on my list. Now, I love Chiang Mai. This is a Thai restaurant in Webster Groves. They have so many great dishes, really great traditional Thai food on their menu, but their chicken wings are fantastic there. And they look very unassuming. You see a picture of them, they're whole wings, so they're all still put together. You got to crack them apart. A little bit of black pepper, a little bit of garlic rubbed in there. Such a great texture to the skin. But then they have this dipping sauce that comes with them. There's a little funk to it. It looks like a really thin sweet and sour, but I think they put a little fish sauce in there.
That'll do it.
And that just gives them this really umami funk that goes with the black pepper and the garlic just beautifully. That is a crowd pleaser for sure.
We'll stay with the international wings, and out in Overland, there's a place called O Wing Plus. O exclamation point Wing Plus.
The exclamation is important if you've had their wings.
And
so good.
it's won a lot of best wing competitions. It's been on a lot of best wings lists. A lot of flavors from Korea. there.
Yes. Korean fried chicken. I'm telling you.
And-
Does
and
it get better?
No, they've got a bunch of different sauces there. Their O's Original has brown sugar and soy sauce,
Mhm.
classic.
Hmm.
There's a beast mode. Just watch out for that one, so I'm going to tell you. But their popular combo is they do 10 wings with 2 sauces. That's what they sell the most of. It's just a great way to experience the place. And there's Korean tacos and bulgogi bowls and spring rolls and pot stickers. And that's the plus in O Wing Plus.
That
Great
place is
place
wonderful.
out in Overland. Now, this one is kind of a curveball. Down in South City is a place called Sister City's Kids.
Yes.
And they have a Cajun smoked wing.
Mm.
But the one that I really like is the one that is slightly smoked over cherry wood, and then they fry it, and then they put some sesame hoisin sauce on it.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful.
So this is a hoisin sauce, and now they call it a trashed wing. You'd think with that they would put it back in the
Yeah.
fryer. No, they put it on the grill. This is a grilled
Oh.
wing with hoisin sauce, and talk about giving it that sticky,
Oh, God.
that
I can just feel the texture as you're describing
that
this
sticky
to me.
component.
Perfect.
It's just so good. Again,
Ooh.
there aren't many places in town that grill chicken wings. This is one of few, and the grilled wings have a character that other wings don't.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
You get this nice char. When you smoke, the smoke tends to really be a powerful flavor. I feel like grilling, it's a little more subtle, and there's something about that bitterness of the char that plays well with
It's
it.
so good. Again, go for the gumbo, but stay for the wings.
Right?
It's really, really good.
Oh, that's great.
So
We're moving on to a new
yeah,
cat.
kind of made a few of these up just so the wing choices would fit into them.
Yeah.
And I think we called it specialty wing. I'm going to dedicate both my choices to the trashed chicken wing.
Yeah. A trashed wing, you cannot go wrong.
Well, and again, we should mention what a trashed wing is. Originally, when I heard that, I thought it was like a loaded wing, a trashed
Right.
wing that they just put all kinds of
A
stuff
bunch of crap on.
top
Yeah.
of. But that's not it at all. A trashed wing is fried and then
Mhm.
tossed in wing sauce and then thrown back in the
Mm.
fryer. And the reason it's called trash because it trashes the oil in the fryer.
I never knew
That is the reason
the
why.
history of it.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
So it trashes the deep fryer. But interestingly enough, they were invented here in St. Louis about 30 years ago. And both these guys kind of take credit for this, the folks at Billy G's and the folks at Fenton Bar and Grill. And both of them to this day specialize in trashed wings.
Wow.
And it's just a really good way to eat. They're super dark, obviously, because they've
Yeah.
been fried twice. The second time with sauce on it. And people will look at them and go, is that a burned one?
Right?
Because they really do. They're quite dark. But anyway, it's an awesome way to eat a chicken wing. And the folks at Salt and Smoke picked up on that too.
Oh, Salt and Smoke's so
They
great.
they do a cherry wood smoked wing that they will trash several different ways with several different trash sauces.
Yeah, their wings are great at Salt and Smoke.
And they've got them 3 or 4 different ways, so you can really get into wings at Salt and Smoke. So that's me for specialty.
Well, I am a glutton for punishment. So I'm going to say Chuck's Hot Chicken because I actually like to injure myself sometimes with spice. It's so good.
Do you go for sauce number 4?
No, that's
That's
the
like rocket
funny
fuel.
thing.
Yeah.
I love spice. I mean, you're talking to someone who will put Hatch chilies on anything. I will eat Frank's Red Hot with a spoon. I love spice. I only find 3 enjoyable, and they have a 0 to 6 point scale. Now, they don't even really list 5 and 6
I
on the
didn't even know
menu.
they had 5 and 6.
It's kind of buried on there. It says, we have 5 and 6.
Do you
We
sign a-
consider these eating challenges. You don't sign a waiver, but it's an at your own risk. You're not eating this because you want to enjoy a wing. You're eating it for bragging rights, and you're eating it to prove a point, which I just want to enjoy
So
my
you're a number
wing.
3 gal?
I'm a number 3.
You
And
wanna hear
number
something really
3 is
bad?
crazy.
I'm a number 2 wimp.
No, I think if I were eating well, I guess the spice, you get numb to it after a while. I was going to say if I was eating for quantity, I would probably go number 2. Number 2's great. Number 2 will still give you fire and tingle and flavor. I think what I like about Chuck's, though, is the chicken itself is great. Even if you got a 0 with this is Nashville hot chicken, by the way. So it's
Right.
dipped in that super spicy chili oil. Even if you just get the plain good old fried chicken, as they name it on their menu, you will have an outstanding piece of chicken. Crispy breading, juicy, plump, succulent meat. It's so wonderful. But 1, you're getting a little bit of a burn on it. 2 is significant. You are getting significant heat at 2. And 3, I start to get hiccups at 3 a little bit. I'm
That's
not
what
gonna
happens
lie.
to me too.
Yeah.
That's why I backed off to 2.
Exactly. Maybe
I can't
I will
hiccup
back
through
off.
an entire
I
meal.
know. Maybe I need to be kinder and gentler to myself and go to 2. But yeah, Chuck's, it's a local chain. What a great place. Also, you can kind of dilute some of the heat with their garlic cheese curds if you haven't had those yet. Those are
There
so
you go.
good.
It's a pro tip.
Another place that no one would ever think about for wings is the Vine. People are like, what are you talking about? Don't you go there for shawarma
Yeah.
and falafel? Yes, you do. And you have a great experience. But
And you have a
they
Mediterranean wing.
have wonderful chicken wings. And this is one of those things, if you'll go on Reddit or where's the best chicken wings in St. Louis, you will find people talking about these wings. They have a cult following. They're fried chicken wings. The key ingredient is za'atar. They toss them in za'atar, which is that Middle Eastern spice. It has thyme and oregano and cumin and coriander and sesame and salt.
It's so good. It's
And-
the same spice that Steve Gontram puts his onion rings in at
yes.
No Ordinary Rabbit and makes those addictive for
Yes.
everybody that goes in there.
The sumac that is in the za'atar is the key, though. That is what gives it brightness, tang. It really pulls it all together. So they toss theirs in that, and then they give it to you in that Lebanese garlic sauce. So you're dipping these za'atar wings in this Lebanese
It
style
sounds
garlic
so
sauce.
good, so different.
I mean, why would you not? So yes, go to the Vine, and instead of getting a falafel, try the chicken wings. You will be very thrilled.
The last category, again, it's kind of a catch-all. We just called it wild card. It's like anything goes. Like
Yeah.
anything that didn't fit into one or
Yes.
the other categories, we chose for wild card. Mine is Gobble Stop out in Creve
Oh,
Coeur.
that's so fun.
It's a poultry-only restaurant for those that haven't been there. Their smoked chicken wings are delicious,
Yeah.
by the way. But what they do is, I mean, again, I'm getting off the chicken wing bandwagon a little bit. They
Yeah.
have smoked turkey ribs, and I use that in quotes
Yes.
because they're not really ribs, but they do have a bone in them. Those are marinated, seasoned, smoked, and grilled. Just a really, really good item.
Wonderful.
So again, go for the chicken wings, hang out for the turkey ribs, and the turkey tips for that matter. Little dark meat turkey nuggets, absolutely
Oh, they're
delicious
so good.
out at Gobble Stop. And the other place, and people forget about this place. I forget about this place. That's why I'm mentioning it. Out at Lake St. Louis, BC's Kitchen, which has been out there since Bill Cardwell
Mhm.
opened it years ago. They have a chicken wing there that's smoked and then fried, like a lot of people do. But they put a bourbon glaze on there.
Ooh. Oh,
And-
that
and-
sounds
and-
great.
And they serve it with ranch dressing, which is a very St. Louis thing, obviously.
Put ranch
and-
on everything, right? Ranch on our
but
pizza.
what I like is instead of just celery, you get different vegetables. different crudité is what I
yes,
call
this is
it.
very fancy.
Which is very fancy, very simple, but very fancy. And again, the reason celery was put on there originally up in Buffalo was to cut the heat.
Sure.
And these crudité do the same thing. So next time out at Lake St. Louis, check out BC's Kitchen and the Wings.
Yeah, that's a really thoughtful component of the dish there. I
It really
love
is.
that.
Somebody's
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah,
Yeah, they are.
exactly.
Well, mine, I guess you could put them in the international category because of the restaurants that they're at, but they're just great wings. They don't necessarily have some sort of global flavor to them. The first one, I found this place by accident when I was looking for Chinese takeout. You know, I am always lamenting the lack of good food in my deep West County environment. There is a wonderful Pan-Asian restaurant in Ellisville called Golden Wok. They have Thai and Chinese American dishes. We just ordered their chicken wings for fun one time, just seeing what they were. They are fantastic. They're the whole wings again, and they're huge. You almost feel like you're getting this massive piece of fried chicken. And they don't necessarily come with a sauce or any special coating or anything. They're just perfectly breaded, this beautiful crispy breading, and they've got this nice peppery feel to them. So you're not getting a spice from chilies. You're getting it from a very liberal use of black pepper. And to me, black pepper on fried chicken, it almost has this southern kind of feel
Most
to
definitely.
it. Yeah. So those are fantastic.
And when you try to find this place, again, we list
Yeah.
all these places in the show notes after every episode because a place named Golden Walk, there's probably about 10 of them in town.
Yes.
This is Golden Walk in Ellisville.
In Ellisville, exactly. The other one, never in a million years would you think to go here for chicken wings, which is why I love this as such a wild card. It's called Some Tea House, SUM, Some Tea House. It's in University City, right there in that strip of all the Chinese businesses. It's so good. They have bubble tea. They're known for bubble tea and milk teas and all these really great teas. But the woman who owns it, she's a second generation restaurant business. Her family owned Chinese American, just very casual eateries in the city. And I think in the Metro East, she was saying as well. And they make wonderful crab rangoon. Like, this is some of my favorite crab rangoon in town. They make really great egg rolls. They make great pot stickers. And they make stunning, take your breath away, fried chicken wings. They're almost like battered. They're so good. I can't even describe why they're so good. They're just, oh gosh, crispy, juicy. There's some sort of undertone to them I can't quite wrap my head around. Very simple though, but oh my
I
gosh.
love
and-
that they have them, and I love that
Yes.
you've tried them. That's awesome.
Yes. I mean, we went in there and we're like, chicken wings. And she said, oh, yes, my family is known for their chicken wings.
Wow, love it.
So go to Some Tea House, like you said, go for the bubble tea, stay for the chicken wings with a side of creme rangoon.
Sounds good.
Yes, love them.
Hey, we're going to declare our favorite chicken wing in town, but before we do, I'm going to throw in a fun fact. You didn't know I was doing this. I just
Oh?
thought this was interesting. The current world record for wing eating
Oh, God.
is held by an Aussie, a young
no.
Aussie. 276 wings in 12 minutes.
Wait,
Just
12
Just
minutes?
think about that.
In 12
That's
minutes?
23 a minute at
Oh
a place called, this is great because this is held every year at Highmark Stadium, which is home of the Buffalo Bills. It's just outside of Buffalo. And it's called Wing It On. I just love everything about this. And anyway, this guy's name's James Webb. Coming in second, a guy named Joey Chestnut.
Of course. I mean, come on,
Anyway, I
Joey,
just
you
thought
gotta
that was,
represent.
anyway, I watched
Wow.
a YouTube video on this,
Oh.
upset my stomach just a little bit, but anyway, 276 in 12 minutes. That's what you need to go for.
I hope they weren't Chuck's level, like 4
Oh, no,
or 5.
no.
Oof.
Anyway,
That'd be
very
tough.
interesting. So there is a favorite wing. It was hard to come up, obviously, with a favorite, but one, and Cheryl and I have talked about this before. Mine is just got to go to Bauman's. Bauman's is a great little butcher shop over in Brentwood, and they sell the heck out of their chicken wings, and they put their little dry rub on. Well,
Mm.
before they put the dry rub on it, They marinate them in wishbone Italian dressing,
I mean,
which is
so
just
simple.
so simple, so old school. And
So
it's like, I
brilliant.
just thought he was kidding me when
But
he
it
told me,
works.
and it works great. And they do that, and then they put their chicken rub on that and smoke that wing a really low smoke, and it gets really dark too. It's
Mhm.
one of those that almost looks burned. But every time I bring them anywhere,
Oh my God.
it's the first thing to go.
They are so good. And I think that anyone who's a chicken wing aficionado here in town is probably like, where's Bauman's on this list? Well, Bauman's is number one. I think if I'm going traditional or smoked chicken wing, they're just up there. They are one of the best in town. I am going to throw in a little bit of a wild card though, and I'm going to go back to one I already talked about. I'm telling you, the Korean fried chicken wings at Cafe Ganadara, they are my heart. I can't speak highly enough of this chicken. It is the gold standard of Korean fried chicken in town. Rush out to Cafe Ganadara. Get these wings. You will be as happy as you can be.
We'll be right back. This episode of Our Cheats is supported by St. Louis Union Station.
Fall in love with love at Violet's, a limited-time immersive cocktail pop-up at the train shed. Lush and beautifully decorated with dim lights and greenery, this romantic space offers a getaway for lovers, friends, and daters. Violet's specialty cocktails include the Ube Martini, an espresso martini with creamy purple yam and chocolate shavings, and Snake Bite, a sophisticated Manhattan-inspired sipper.
Violet's is open at 11 a.m. daily all through February and does not accept reservations. Pay a visit and make this month unforgettable. Learn more at trainshed-stl.com.
And now, back to the show.
I just love the fact that you found chicken wings at the Vine. You found them at some tea house. You found them at Golden Walk. You found them at Cafe Ganadara. That is really cool.
George, I love chicken wings. If there's a
can
wing
tell.
on a menu, I'm going to eat it.
I love them too. But one of the varieties we're not going to talk about, this gets us to our micro rant today, are boneless chicken wings. For one good reason. Boneless chicken wings are not chicken wings. Can I continue here?
They are
You're
not
shaking your
wings.
head.
Did you ever see that video of that guy? I think he actually went to municipal court where he lived. He was dressed in a suit and tie. If we can find a YouTube video, we'll have to put it in the show notes. But dressed in a suit and tie, had a presentation, and wanted his city council to declare
I love
that
it.
by law, boneless chicken wings are not chicken wings.
No, they're basically pieces of breast meat that's cut into the shape of a chicken wing.
They're good. Don't get me wrong.
And they're
They're
fine.
tasty.
But they're wing impersonators.
Yes, they are.
They're wing wannabes. That's all we can say. And I'm glad you agree with me.
They're
I mean,
wings for the week.
they are popular. They're more affordable. They cook quicker. It's got a lot of advantages. But at the end of the day, 2/3 of restaurant chicken wings are bone-in wings. That's the way it should be. People like fiddling with that chicken wing, and I am one of them, and you are too.
I am too, George. I guess it's for the knife and fork crew, and there are virtues to it. Sometimes I feel like you can get a little bit extra
You can.
sauce on there.
That's an
And I
advantage.
am a condiment person, so I do appreciate them for that. I'm not going to turn them
Well,
down.
they're not as messy. You don't have the bone to deal
Exactly.
with. Maybe we're
they're
talking
like-
ourselves into them.
Yeah, maybe we are. Maybe if you're going on a date or something, or you're on a business meeting
This-
and you're thinking, I need buffalo sauce, that's the time.
Before this micro rant turns into a micro rave, we're going to sign off for this week. This is Our Cheats. Thanks for listening. Best dishes. Be sure to follow us and share with your friends. And we always provide links in the show notes for everything you heard about today. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow along on Instagram at St. Louis Mag. And feel free to give us a follow personally at George Mahey and Cheryl A. Bear.
If you loved what you heard, show us some love by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. And if you're hungry for even more content, you can subscribe to our dining newsletters for the freshest coverage on the local restaurant and culinary scene.